Hi, I'm your boy, The Media Prince, and I want to welcome you back to another epic season of great conversations, great laughs, great art, great stories, just plain old greatness, and we're here in the nation's capital. Welcome to Conversations with The Media Prince. What's going on, y'all? It's your boy, The Media Prince, and we are back for another episode of Conversations with The Media Prince. Now, just like any other episode, I have a dynamic brother next to me. I've had the privilege of knowing this guy my whole life, and to watch him grow and flourish in an art world that sometimes is overlooked is astonishing. This guy right here, when I tell you, has taken over the social media world in the realm of poetry and poet alike. I want to introduce you guys to the one, the only, Matt Capone.
What's up, man?
How are you, brother?
I'm blessed.
Hey.
I'm good, man. I can't complain.
How does it feel to be in the space you are now within your career in the poet world?
I just feel like I got a lot of unfinished business to do. Sometimes as creatives and artists, we always worry about where we could be rather than paying attention to the present. And sometimes I just be having to be blessed for where I'm at because I pray for that. So, I just be trying to focus on the now because I know I could get ahead of myself.
I got you. What does poetry mean to you?
Poetry means everything. Poetry is life. I feel like every person is a poem. All of us go through experiences. We all see life for what it is in our own, perspective. So at the end of the day, poetry is life. I get inspired by the smallest things, whether it's social media, whether it's a relationship, whether it's me being a father, whether it's things that I've been through. Even, this conversation, I could take something from this conversation and something to come from it. So everything that goes on in this life is poetry.
I like that. So I always say with your artistry, you allow us to paint so many different pictures in our head with your words. Take us back to what was that first moment for you where you knew you had a poem?
All right, so sheesh. So I got a poem called Dear Steve Harvey, right? And I just knew based off of the controversy that was in the poem that it was going to be something special. Like, you get on social media, you see a lot of podcasts and women against men, men against women, people with their own, perspectives or opinions and stuff like that. And, I knew what I was going to say was going to cause a reaction, even if it wasn't necessarily responding to the people. It was more so responding to something that, Steve Harvey had said on Instagram that it got a lot of views and likes and comments and stuff like that. So I know if something that he said got a lot of views, comments, and likes, me responding to it would get the same thing. So I knew I had a poem when I did that.
Okay. Was it overwhelming to have to live up to the next poem once that poem got so much traction?
Nah, honestly, no. When you're an artist, you just artist. You know what I'm saying? Like, nobody can poet the way that I poet. You know what I'm saying? Nobody can interview the way that you interview because your intent and your reason is different. So when it comes to me writing poems, it's like I use the same antidote, which is my life and my experiences, and how I feel about things. So whatever I put on paper, it's gonna do whatever it's gonna do. I'm just blessed that I just keep going viral and each poem just keep getting so much recognition.
Yeah. What is that experience like when you've written the poem, you know the words, and now you're on stage in your element, performing it to the world? What zone are you in? What space are you in?
So I think it differs depending on the crowd and its energy.
Mm-hmm.
Me, I go off the crowd and the energy. I let them know before I even do, my piece or my poem or I perform. I let them know like the energy that they give me is the energy that I'm gonna give them.
Mm.
But I also tell people I don't do poetry. I have conversations. So the fact that I'm having a conversation with everybody, it allows me to be myself. So when it comes to a lot of artists, and they be like, oh, give me a gem or give me some game on, you know what I'm saying? How you so comfortable? That's just me. You know what I'm saying? If that's not you, that's not you. You know what I'm saying? So how you deliver, how your cadence is, all depends on the type of person that you are. For the most part, I'm chill, I'm laid back, I'm goofy, and I put all those attributes into when I'm performing. So yeah.
One thing I've always wondered though, what is that technique of memorizing what you wrote to say it on stage?
So as far as the memorization part, when I write it down, put it in my notes or whatever the case is, I break it down 5 sentences. I remember each sentence, and then I go to the next.
Mm-hmm.
I probably do that for a couple days. Once I feel like I got it down packed, it's still not memorized because when you get on stage, it's certain nerves that hit you.
Mm-hmm.
So what I do is before I perform it in front of a big crowd or before I perform it in front of like trap poetry or something like that, I'll go to like a small open mic. You know what I'm saying? I'll get the kinks out the way. So if I'm going to mess up, at least I know where I messed up. So then the next time when it's time for me to really perform, I know where I messed up at. And, I could paraphrase through that. That's another thing, you know what I'm saying? When it comes to my poetry, a lot of times people don't know that I'm messing up in my poems because, like I said, it's a conversation.
Right.
So, I might know the whole poem by heart, but, I might miss this word, I might miss this sentence, but I can finesse that because it's actually coming from my life and my experiences. So.
Okay. And I like that you just mentioned trap poetry. If you guys are watching this, of course, you probably might hear like some tables moving or some doors opening. We're actually here backstage as we're gearing up for your trap poetry. Explain, how did this start? How did this vision come to you, and how does it feel seeing it now brought to fruition?
It's crazy because I was never supposed to have an event. That wasn't my intent. You know what I'm saying? Me being an artist, I wanted to just focus on my artistry. But probably like for 8 months, 9 months, I was just killing the open mic scene. You know what I'm saying? Getting my name out there. First started in DC, then I just started going on the road to different open mics and stuff like that. So one time I went to a lounge in DC and it was a promoter there. The promoter is now my manager.
Wow.
And he saw me perform. He was like, yo, you dope. If you ever need a venue to have your own show at, this would be it. So, you know what I'm saying? We worked everything out, and that's how I started my open mic. As far as me calling it trap poetry, that just came from, where I grew up at, things I've been through, and, like, where I speak from, or who I speak for. So, trap, poetry in the middle.
I think it was also a big takeaway, too, is you've now created platforms for other poets to now be seen and heard. How does it feel knowing that you're now creating infrastructure?
I'm blessed, right? So, a lot of people ask me why I do poetry, and I tell them because I look like the regular Joe walking down the street, but I relate to so many people that I want to shine light that anybody can do poetry. So the fact that anybody can do poetry, and I want to shine light on poetry because, like you said, poetry is so overlooked. I want people that don't know anything about poetry to start paying attention to artists, that's whether it's in the city or outside of it. So, you know what I'm saying? It's a blessing that people could just know about poetry through my platform. Yeah.
What do you think has been the most scariest part about sharing your art with the world?
Nothing.
Ooh,
right?
like
So it's like, since I've been a kid, I've always had attention on me, right?
Yes, he has.
it don't matter like what grade level you talk about. I've always had attention. So as far as like me being vulnerable, that just came from not being able to grow up and express myself. You feel me? And when you're growing up and you gotta grow up faster than what you may have to grow up, or you gotta go through certain things. You know what I'm saying? You want to get it out. You know what I'm saying? And when we was growing up, therapy wasn't one of those things that was forced on us or talked to us about, or we wasn't educated about it. So, you know, once I found my outlet, it was just like, look, I'm going to tell people how I feel, and I never really been somebody to care for what somebody got to say about me anyway, so that was easy.
What are you thinking, as you go further in your career, what are you learning more about yourself?
I got to be patient. My mind runs like 100 miles per hour. You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And it's like, listen, you might have all the plans in the world. You know what I'm saying? You might have all the ideas, but, you know, you got to take care of things one step at a time. So finding that healthy balance, you feel what I'm saying, between being the father, being the artist, you know what I'm saying, being all those things. So definitely patience.
Patience. I love that. And I hope you guys took that note. That also goes to your career as well. Give yourself patience. And I say give yourself grace too, because we're in an era where everybody wants to just be Matt Capone tomorrow. And not realize it takes fostering, it takes watering of the seed and the plant. What are you, as you guys get bigger, are you seeing the world of poetry here getting bigger? Are you starting to see that now?
Yeah. I mean, that could be a whole lot of things. That could be like, you know, just my algorithm and what I'm following on social media
Right.
now. That's all I'm saying. But, you know, a lot of people, like celebrities or whatever, reach out to me and let me know, like, oh, yeah, you dope, or, you know what I'm saying, football players, basketball players. So, you know what I'm saying, the fact that these people are reaching out to me or these people are paying attention to me, it let me know that I'm doing exactly what I'm supposed to do. So, yeah, I mean, you know, it'll get there when it get there, but I'm definitely trying to help the movement a little faster.
Yeah. And what do you think so far are Matt Capone's 3 keys to success thus far?
So I think the first one is to not really worried about, you know, what somebody gotta say about your art, you know, because your art is your truth.
Exactly.
So, and you know, life be lifing for everybody. You feel what I'm saying? So since life be lifing for everybody and everybody got something going on, you just gotta keep going.
Hashtag life be lifing.
You know, you just gotta keep going, because it'll be things that happen that try to get you to stop what you're doing. And you gotta make it happen regardless. You know what I'm saying? You gotta worry about that other situation later. If you're really trying to make it, if you're really trying to do it, you just gotta keep going. It don't matter what's going on. And the third thing is, you know, just I say the biggest thing with me is just be personable when it comes to dealing with people. You feel what I'm saying? Even if that's not you, if you signed up for something, you got to know what it come with. You feel me? So, you know, just fit the mold into whatever it is that you signing up for, and, you know, make that a part of you.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, I know everybody's watching it, bro. Like, I like his name. How did you come up with the name Matt Capone?
Me and a couple of my men, we were just sitting down in the living room. You know, it was just one of them things before I hit the stage, before I started taking it serious, and I was telling everybody, look, I'm about to start doing spoken word, I'm about to start doing poetry. They like, man, what you gonna call yourself? You know what I'm saying? So, you know, we was joking around like, oh yeah, Matt the Poet, you know what I'm saying, stuff like that. But, you know, a lot of those names just didn't align with my personality. You feel me? So, you know, I smoke Capones. So it was just one of them things where it was like, oh yeah, you know, well, since you smoke Capone so much, why you don't just call yourself Matt Capone? And it just stuck, and you know, it sounds smooth. So that's how that came about.
And who knows? You might be speaking a Capone endorsement into fruition.
Listen, let me know. Let me know for real.
Hey, so what does today's Matt Capone say to that Matt Capone that wrote his first poem?
Just keep standing in your truth. Don't pay attention to the naysayers. Don't pay attention to what somebody tell you can't do, because you're capable of anything as long as you stay consistent. So that's it.
I love that. And what do you say to Because more importantly, the most important job you have out of all of this, your father. What advice would you give to like other fathers that also want to tap more into their art, but they're having a hard time finding that balance?
Look, I'm trying to find that balance. You just gotta have faith that things are going to align the way that it's supposed to align.
I like that.
You feel what I'm saying? And that's the biggest thing with me. Like, I go through real life every day. I'm talking about some things that people would be like, oh yeah, you know what I'm saying? How you still going? You feel what I'm saying? And I tell people all the time, like, this is what I'm supposed to do, this is my purpose. So make sure, you know what I'm saying, you find your purpose, and yeah, it'll happen the way that it's supposed to happen.
Exactly. And it's also a full circle moment, just because I've known you my whole life, and who would have thought down the line our careers, I'm gonna be interviewing you, brother. Cause
I mean, I feel like that's just, you know what I'm saying, alignment. I feel like, you know what I'm saying, that's God. I feel like it's the universe. It's whatever it is that you believe. You know what I'm saying. Like, I feel like, people placed in your life for a reason. You know what I'm saying, and that's why, I've always tried my best to be kind and interactive with everybody. It didn't matter what group you was in. You feel what I'm saying? If I was in high school, you was a quote unquote nerd, or you was a gothy kid, or you was weird, I still spoke to you like you was a regular person, because you never know who these people are gonna be later on down the line. So I'm real big on relationships and treating people accordingly. So
I love that.
Yeah, it's just about alignment. God will do his thing.
Hey, that's the message right there. God would do his thing, and God is definitely doing his thing in your career, and it's exciting too, because you're now becoming an anchor for that world here. And I always say, our art world here, and all its facets, is like so big, it's so dynamic. But even with that, there are still like certain anchors of the art that don't always have a voice. So we always go to the painters and the musicians, but what about that spoken word, like that poet, that chills, that give you inspiration to like think, move, discuss. And I think you are creating that new world here, and you're allowing more poets like you to be awakened and feel, okay, we could do something with this for real.
Yeah, facts.
What do you hope people walk away with after hearing your poetry?
I hope people walk away with some type of enlightenment, a different perspective. You know, sometimes you meet people and people who just stuck in their ways.
Facts.
And everybody's different in their own right, but all of us have some of the same similarities, because we all live in this thing called life. Life is undefeated. Life is gonna be here when we not here. So, when we was growing up and our parents was like, oh, it ain't nothing new under the sun, it's because they was going through things that we going through now. You know what I'm saying? If it wasn't the exact same thing, it was the exact same feeling. So, with that being said, it's like, yeah, pretty much.
What's next for you?
Growing trap poetry, me going international.
Hey.
I got a show in London next year.
Hey, my boy.
Top of next year, so being able to bring my energy, my personality, my perspective to a whole nother place where, to see if people can relate to me as well. That's going to be new for me as well. But, I'm going to keep doing what I'm doing now, and it's going to pay off.
It's exciting to see you, like, chart new uncharted territories, because you grow, and then you realize how much you're really built for this. And to know that you're now going to be able to share your art with the whole other side of the world, like, that's monumental.
That's facts.
And I hope people, with watching your story, understand that you're an example of betting on yourself, taking a chance, and going for it. Because I think we're also, just as much as we want to be in the forefront, a lot of us are also scared to just do it sometimes, and like bet on yourself. So I'm hoping as they tune in more to you, they're learning that if you can do it, that they can do it. They could,
Yeah, most definitely, most definitely. I see so many artists talk about just like you said, betting on yourself, or talking about where they came from, and you know what I'm saying. Like you said earlier, so many people think that things happen overnight, but they don't see the background part. They don't see the things that's going on in a person's life, and they think, oh yeah, well this person just put a mixtape out, this person just did this, and they just became famous. But there's real stuff going on.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You just seeing the social media side, you just seeing the TV side, you just seeing what's being put in the papers. But when all that cut off, real life still going on. So you know what I'm saying? You just gotta bet on yourself and keep going. That's my biggest thing. Like, keep going.
I love that. So, before I let you go, now that I have my brother on the chair with me, I want to play my famous either or game. So I'm going to give you some hip hop legends. We know he's a lover of hip hop. As a matter of fact, what he does is kind of curates the essence of what we know as hip hop.
Poetry is the mother of hip hop.
Hey,
Yeah.
so I'm going to give you some hip hop legends. I'm going to give you two hip hop legends. The person you say stays. The person you don't say never existed, never made music. Are you ready?
No, but go ahead.
And I'm gonna give you just for him, I'm gonna give him 3 Capone passes. This allows you to void the question and skip it. All right?
Cool.
Tupac or Biggie?
Biggie.
Okay, Biggie stays. Okay.
Yeah.
Jay-Z or Nas?
Jay-Z.
Okay. Kendrick Lamar or Drake?
Sheesh. What we talking about when you ask that question?
This is all for you. This is what however.
I go with Drake.
All right, Drake stays. J. Cole or Eminem?
That's crazy. J. Cole.
Okay. 2 Chainz or Future?
Future.
Okay. T.I. or Ludacris?
Ludacris.
Okay. Kanye West or Lil Wayne?
Lil Wayne.
Okay, he's kind of acing this. All right, we're going to do one more for the fellas. Andre 3000 or Common?
Andre 3000.
Okay. All right, let's go to the ladies. Remy Ma or Nicki Minaj?
Nicki Minaj.
Okay. Cardi B or Megan Thee Stallion?
That's a touchy subject. I'm going to go ahead and avoid that and go to the next one.
Okay, that's a Capone pass.
Yeah.
Let's do Lotto or Doja Cat?
Lotto.
Okay. Little Kim or Trina?
Little Kim.
Okay. Eve or Foxy Brown?
Foxy.
All right, one last one. Missy Elliott or Left Eye?
Sheesh. I'm gonna give it to Missy just because she's just not one dimensional. So,
Hey,
yeah.
okay. And she just got Hall of Fame, so she's lit. Where can everyone follow you and find you and all that you are working on?
So they can follow me on all social media platforms at Matt MATT 3 underscores Capone CAPONE. You could Google me. YouTube.
Hey.
Just type in Matt Capone. Everything to pop up.
Don't it feel good to be Googleable?
Yeah. Yeah. No, facts. Sometimes I be like, man, look, don't even talk to me. Just
Hey, can we give it up for him? Because he actually, this was the fastest person in seasons, literally, that's been able to get through that either or game. He was just like, yeah, I know what I know.
No,
and I'm saying,
I thought you was gonna ask me some questions about him or okay, but I mean, I'm real big on music. I'm a radio, so
Hey.
in the middle of conversations when I be talking to people, they say something that's a lyric, I just start singing.
Yeah.
So I'm real big on that.
and what's so dope too, and I think just unfolding more of who you are, because of course everybody think they know you, then they realize, damn, this brother is multi-dimensional, smart as hell, knows his craft, and is a student of the art.
Definitely a student.
And I think that's also a beautiful thing about evolving, is we also get to show other people that they can show other sides of themselves.
Yeah.
And grow with that. Because some people feel like staying in this anchor is just going to keep you winning, when it's like, sometimes it's not a good thing.
Not at all.
So I like to leave our viewers off with one token of advice, or I say what's a motivational quote or something you live by that you could give the viewers off?
Every conversation is a step away from compromise, and every compromise is a step away from a conversation.
Ladies and gentlemen, the one, the only, Matt Capone. This was Conversations with the Media Prince, shop at MLB. Until next episode, peace.